that exist in this classroom. I am doing presentation on World War I weapons today, and we are moving on now. And why won't this work?
Because you didn't tap it again. Tap it again.
Okay. Okay. So obviously there were a lot of weapons, both individually and as well as in groups. So I'm not going to list all of them. A, we don't have enough time. B,
Attention spans are
yeah, we probably don't have
American.
enough attention span, especially for those of you that are ADD. Hi.
I'm bored already.
Not surprised. That's what I was gonna say. All right. So first off, we have guns, specifically rifles. In World War I, the rifle was the most commonly used weapon. And the soldiers would have a bayonet and a service rifle. The most commonly one, American-wise, because we're in America, yay, was a rifle that I didn't actually find a name for, but it actually resembled very closely to Mauser's M1989, and unfortunately I have absolutely no pictures in this entire presentation because who hates me? Woohoo!
There's also a filter warning.
Oh shoot! Again? There we go. Alright. The US government actually had to pay a licensing fee to Mauser. Because
copyright.
I think copyright. I have no idea. I don't know laws. Because the model that the military used so closely resembled the Mauser's bolt action one. And on an off note, this was American. The British actually used the Lee Enfield 303, and the French used the Level and Bertha 8mm, and there were a ton of others that I could not begin to list. Oh dear, did I? Back one. There we go. And hey, more guns. Machine guns this time. Most of the machine guns were based on Hiram Maxim's 1884 design, and again, no pictures, surprise. But basically, you had the gun, and you could, I believe this would be on full automatic, because I know that there are several models that have a semi-automatic mode. So I'm under the assumption that sustaining fire for 450 to 600 rounds a minute is under full automatic. Just going quick. Woohoo!
So tell me what semi-automatic is before you go.
Semi-automatic, I believe. So semi-automatic, obviously, first off, is not full automatic, because full automatic, you pull the trigger, and if I'm correct, it just starts going.
Yeah, you just hold the trigger down.
Semi-automatic, you actually have to keep pulling the trigger, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Every time you pull the trigger, you get a bullet. Perfect.
Yeah. So semi-automatic, pull the trigger. Full automatic, pull the trigger. You just keep going.
Would a manual count as a slingshot?
Say who?
That would be manual.
Manual, you have to pull it back yourself. So slingshots are manual guns.
Only one of the first. The soldiers that used these could, again, on full automatic, pull the trigger, and you would just mow down the people. You would just mow down crowds. And there were some that believed that machine guns could replace rifles entirely. Obviously, that most likely wasn't true because rifles were the most commonly used weapon. And
Machine guns are probably expensive.
yeah, and
And they're heavy. They're heavy.
And heavy. And they were effective in stationary, but the ones that you had to lug around, not too effective. And actually, despite how you could just mow down crowds with a machine gun, they weren't actually the most lethal ones in the war. They weren't actually the most lethal
No, the
weapons.
most lethal weapon was humans.
Oh, that's just throughout history. Good grief, don't get me started. But we get to lethal weapons later. Well, that's a bit stupid. And flamethrowers. This one, I learned about this in AP. This one threw me for a loop. It's gonna throw you guys for a loop too. This one dates clean back to the Greeks and Byzantine Empire and the Chinese Empire.
I mean, like Greek fire, which is like napalm kind of.
It says modern
use that
flamethrower.
for
She has my attention.
Yes. So I forget the actual. I want to say Latin term. I'm most likely, if not completely wrong, but the literal interpretation of the original word flamethrower, or whatever the other word was, legitimately means spray fire device. Obviously, if flamethrower wasn't enough. Invented somewhere around 1998, 1980. Word, God. Invented by the Chinese, if I'm correct. The modern flamethrower, though, was mostly used by the Germans during World War I. The English and the French did develop similar technology, but it wasn't used as extensively as the Germans, who had they made over 650 flamethrower attacks with 3,000 specially formed flamethrower troops. So basically, German troops specifically designed to use flamethrowers.
So they
against
hired
you.
all the pyromaniacs they could find.
Just about. Oh, Germany, what else do you have for us? And mortars, not the brick glue, because I honestly thought that the first time I saw this word. I'm not going to lie. In World War I, they were much more advanced than their earlier counterparts, and the most effective way I can describe this is it's sort of like a miniature cannon that you just sort of set up and then.
It's a cannon that shoots things into the air, and when they land, they kind of explode.
It shoots artillery, basically meaning bombs. So fire in the hole.
So when they land, they explode.
Yep.
Think landmines, but in air.
The Stokes design was introduced by the British, and it had no moving parts, so it could fire up to about 22 shells a minute, and it could fire over a range of 1,200 yards. So, if I'm correct, that probably would have reached the German trenches, or whatever trenches. And actually, we don't have trenches on here. I think those were more of a defense. Instead of wasn't a weapon. The Germans developed the mortar. Also developed a mortar.
Mine throwers, so
Yeah,
mid-air
very-
landmines.
Very correctly named, aptly named. I forget the actual term for it. Darn it! I forget the actual German word.
Probably got 20.
The German model had a 10-inch barrel, and it was the shells. The shells that were loaded into the mortar were loaded with metal balls. So when it exploded on enemy
shoots shrapnel.
territory, you would start getting hit with basically metal balls. So concussion, wounds, and if you were close enough to ground zero, then you've probably got a metal hole in your brain. Why did I say that? I can't say words. And
Yay.
more guns.
More guns.
Bigger this time and bigger than.
Ooh, Devil Gun. Is that one as entertaining as the dragon descending upon the helpless virgin's cannon?
Never forget that. And because the French, I love French, and the English, artillery. Earlier I mentioned that machine guns were not the most lethal weapon in the war. That honor goes to artillery, as I mentioned before. Shoot that out of a mortar. The increased lethality of artillery was a significant increase in traditional modern technology. Was a significant increase. And the French developed a 75 millimeter cannon. And among the Germans, it basically became known as the devil gun. So start running, boys. The French commanders claimed that their cannon won the war. And I'm not actually sure what quite won the war, but everybody's going to claim that some weapon of theirs won the war. I'm saying that now.
Unless they're German.
Germans. Anyway. Poison gas. This is one of the probably better known parts of World War One. And also why they distributed so many gas masks in World War II was because of the amount of poison gas used during World War One. You just did not know what was coming. Begin chemical warfare. April 22nd, 1915, the French, Canadian, and Algerian troops were attacked by the Germans at the Second Battle of Ypres with chlorine gas. It was the first full-scale attack launched using chemical warfare.